All right, so you're selling an apartment building and you need to know how to value it. I'm going to show you three simple ways, three principles essentially, that a lot of folks use in the field to develop a price or a value for their apartment building, whether that's a smaller residential duplex, triplex, or as large as a multi-unit, hundreds of units, etc. Okay, so each of these three methods to develop a value for your apartment building that you're looking to sell operate on three different principles. Okay, the first one, the cost approach, operates on the principle of replacement. Okay, the income approach operates on the principle of a capitalization rate or a cap rate. Okay, and then the comparison approach, which you're probably most familiar with, operates on the principle of substitution. So if you're looking to sell your multifamily, if you're looking to sell an apartment complex, whether it's totally occupied or there's some vacancy, you're going to need to first things first is get all your numbers together, get your pro forma so that you can show other buyers and investors what that looks like. But you're going to want to think about these three approaches. And so I want to show you why only two of them really matter for you. The first one, the cost approach, operating on the principle of replacement. So if you had to replace that building, essentially, what would it cost in labor and materials? It's most commonly used by insurance companies so that they can draw up whatever your premium should be on an insurance policy for that whole multifamily building. So it's not really going to be totally relevant to market value. So I wouldn't go too crazy over the cost approach, right? That's not going to help you develop a price that you should market to other buyers, right? Income approach is going to be great if your multifamily or your apartment building has more than 4 units, and that tends to be when you switch from residential to commercial. So I would use the income approach. You're really looking at it as a business. So what is the annual net operating income? And how does that compare to what you're asking for? That's your capitalization rate. What is an investor going to get in terms of an annual return if they bought your building for cash, given what your historical performance has been in terms of cash flow? Okay, so income approach is great if you have a large multifamily building. For the smaller residential multifamilies and apartment buildings, these are your duplex, triplex, quads. I would just go with the comparison approach for the most part. This is what you use for single family and condos as well. It operates on the law of substitution, right? So these are what people call running comps or looking at comparable sales. You're looking for similar recent sales of buildings that are of similar size, condition, location, and lot size and everything else. You just want to find the closest possible, and then you make adjustments to those comps in order to come up with a value. So if I were you and I was looking to sell a multifamily building, if you're looking to sell your apartment building, how you value it, whether you have a small or a large, it depends, but I would focus on really these two options here, okay? That's going to be your best bet. If you need help coming up with a value for your multifamily building, if you're just confused or you're not sure what it's worth, it can vary a lot depending on all the numbers. Reach out to my team and I would be happy to give you a free assessment of what we think it's worth, and we would be using these two approaches right here. Thanks.